Hey there, Floss Tube. This is Kathy, the hands-on designer, coming at you with a video in February. Wow, where did January go? The last video I did was in December, just before the holidays, and I hope that you all had a nice holiday season with your family. Wow, seriously, where did January go? I don't know. It's been a busy month, and it's only getting really, quite frankly, busier. We've got market coming up. We've had just lots of things on the home front, and if you follow me on any kind of social media, you know that I've got some big news to talk to you about today. So I have some other things I want to talk about first, though. So January. This is the month that most cross-stitch design, needlework designers around the country are going, "Wah!" because we're getting ready to put all our new releases together to go to Nashville Needlework Market. It's the first weekend in January. It's a wholesale trade-only show. Shops come and purchase from us. It's cash and carry. So in most cases, they come and we have the product there, and then they come buy what they want and then take it back to their shop for you. So we're kind of going nuts, getting things stitched and models finished and charted and photographed and printed, and of course you can tell by my voice and I'm sucking on a throat lozenge. I had to go and get sick. Everybody in my house, well, right now it's just me and my husband, but the kids have also been sick, and I'm the last to get this. I've tested negative for both strep and flu, which on one hand is a good thing, but on the other hand, there's not really much they can do for you other than throat lozenges. I've got my Kleenex handy, and sorry, I've got my little juice here if I get a coughing fit. So anyway, but yeah, January, busy month. A few things on the home front. My son Billy, who a lot of you have met in one of the previous videos last summer, we moved him the beginning of the month. He lives in had lived in a group home just a couple miles from us for about 5 years, and he has moved into a new house a little further away, about 20 minutes or so, and it's a waiver house, and so we're really proud of him. It's kind of the next step towards a little more independence for him, learning new bus routes to his job. He still has the same job, and we are also very proud of him because we just found out, actually just before the holidays, that Billy was selected. He didn't make the first rounds, but somebody had to bow out, and so he was able to step in. Billy is going to be on the Iowa delegation for the National Special Olympics Summer Games. So we're gonna pack the whole family up and head to Seattle this summer. I'm excited about that. I've never been there before. He plays year-round in all different sports, but the sport that he qualified to go in was tennis. So his dad and I are his local coaches. We'll travel. We don't travel with the team, so it's kind of, I don't know. It's a new experience, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's just kind of some of the things on the home front that we've had going, besides all this work and getting ready for market. So I had a couple, well, I don't know, shout outs, but come across a new follower on Instagram, and I've seen her on Facebook as well, and she started doing a floss tube, and she's deaf. So the silent stitcher, I want to give a shout out to her. I don't know how to do subtitles, but I'm gonna try, because she suggested that maybe we think about that. I may not get it done this time, but I certainly will try for next time, and I'll try and, I don't know, I talk with my hands a lot, so you can kind of tell what I'm talking about. I know limited, you know, hi, I know limited, but anyway, so it is February, and I just kind of want to say, hello, February. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I was on Instagram, and Buckeye Stitcher had a question, or well, she made a comment about, she was putting a button on a design, and she said it was kind of you know, hard to get that little button on there just right. And I told her, excuse me, sorry, hope that doesn't happen a lot, that I had a little tip or trick or hint for putting those little buttons on. And I really kind of put that into, sorry, a little speck of dust there. I use that trick in this series. This is called the Well Hello There. It's a book that I put out last year. It's got all 12, you see that? All 12 in there. And the inspiration behind this was those Facebook memes where people post pretty pictures and at the change of each month, you know, hello December, hello January. I actually did a small video about it about a year ago. I actually made my own, that little hello December. That's actually my backyard. I took that picture. I was very proud of it. Anyway, so it's been a fun book. Again, all 12 in there, and it uses, each design has a series of buttons that I designed right into it. So I designed, I would say around the buttons, but kind of around the buttons. They're all from Just Another Button Company. Each one has 5. 2 are handmade buttons and 3 are hand dyed. Now, if it is something you're interested in, Jabco does have a monthly club that the first month you get the book, and then you get your linen, and it's just 3 shades of floss and the buttons. And then after that, you get one a month arrives at your doorstep. That's pretty cool, huh? But getting back to attaching the buttons, there is a tutorial on my website, handsondesign.biz, under the heading tutorials, where I showed how I put my little trick for putting the buttons on, because I had 2 sets of the models stitched, one for me and one for Just Another Button Company, and I was putting my models together and I started attaching the buttons, and I wanted them all in a row, and I wanted them to kind of be somewhat straight. Man, was it hard to get those things straight. And I remembered a trick that Rachel of Just Another Button Company told me, and she actually said she got the trick from Terry and Tina at Shepherd's Bush, and I figured, well, if it's good enough for Terry and Tina, it's good enough for me. Anyway, so I laid all the buttons out where I wanted them, and where'd it go? Scotch tape. I just laid a large piece of Scotch tape across all the buttons. It did take a little practice to get the first couple down, but laid it, and I kind of pressed it on either end so that it wouldn't shift. And then I just attached the buttons. And then when the buttons were attached, I peeled back the tape. And I really, a couple times, like the tape sort of split into little pieces, but nothing so small that I couldn't get it off. And it didn't really even, wasn't enough to even really make my needle gummy, you know, and I probably threw away the needle at the end of it anyway. So I used a sharp needle to go through the tape and attach the buttons with their colors. So isn't that cool? So hello, February. So granted, yes, I used that for the entire row. It would certainly work for putting even just one button on. So hopefully, maybe you kind of remember that next time. So anyway, I'm gonna take a, oh, you guys, I'm over this, let me tell you. So not only am I getting Nashville designs ready, I'm also getting the next anniversary complementary design ready. Again, if you follow me on social media, if you follow me on Instagram, follow my blogs, follow my newsletters, you'll know that once a year, my anniversary is coming up this Tuesday. The big 3-0 is my wedding anniversary, and I always do a gift for my husband. It's a complimentary design, just a fun little thing, and I put it out there, and I want to show you, this is the one that started it all. That's Love You More, just a fun little pillow. He keeps this on the table by the side of his bed. It's covered in dog hair, cat hair. And a lot of times when I leave, like if I have to go to a week away for the weekend to teach or to a retreat or something like that, I'll take it and I'll put it by by his pillow. Just, love you more. So there's that. And honestly, I can't remember what order they came out in, but then the next year, this one's filled with walnut shells, so it's a little floppy. But my heart leaps up, and it had the little made with love button. And then I had you bring peace to my heart. Now on a lot of these, the ones that have, say, a little embellishment, I put it out there that you could send me a self-addressed stamped envelope and I would send it to you. Now anything for the older designs, the button, the charm, they're gone. So sorry, I have gotten a few envelopes occasionally. So I don't have any. We actually get quite a terrific response and I'm thrilled. I love reading your little notes. That's not required, but it's fun. But anyway, so I don't have any of these, but it's fun. We usually get a couple hundred responses. So, and we send them out. Then I didn't have an embellishment for this year. Some years, I kind of slide in the door within time. So this one was just a simple design. I had this gorgeous fabric. This is kind of it's a fun way for me to experiment with color. I do tell you on the charts what colors I used, but these are really kind of meant to be a raid your stash kind of project. Just quick, fun little bowl fillers or something. I put a little lady dot chenille around it. This is just a little pillow. And then for just a little extra added texture, I had these Just Another Button Company pin sets, because I kind of like them. And I just stuck it in there for just a little extra something. That was a couple years ago. Then this is the one I see all the time. This was last year. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's my favorite one. I had the pink hearts left over from an old project, and I tea dyed them because they were really kind of Pepto-Bismol pink. And I didn't want that. I wanted something softer. So we sent out a lot of buttons. Again, embellishments, they're gone. But finding heart buttons, it's so easy to do. And I just love seeing the different color combinations that everybody has picked. Now, you can still access these patterns if you go to my website, handsondesign.biz. People ask me why .biz and not .com. Well, to be perfectly honest, somebody has .com, handsondesign.com, locked up, so to speak. And if I would like to pay the small amount of $2,500, I can have it back. No thanks. So .biz it is. But anyway, if you go on there under the heading blog, I don't do a ton of blog posts anymore, mostly just because I do newsletters, I've got the social media posts, things like that, and now Floss Tube. So go to last February and look at the post, and you can access this pattern as a downloadable PDF. Then go like a week before that, and you'll get all the others, links to all the others. And the reason why that was, because that was the year I got the new website, and I did away with the old website and the blog post or blog spot, and it linked to, the link, it's still there, but the links are dead. So go to my new website and you can still get those. And so your next answer or question is, will there be one for this year? And the answer is, yes, there is. I will be posting it on a blog post and an email on Tuesday, February 6th, our 30th anniversary. There will be a little button that you'll want to, if you'd like, and send a self-addressed stamped envelope. I think it's just kind of fun. For the price of a stamp, you get a button. I just think it's kind of fun to do. My mailman is expecting it, because last year he asked me, he's like, what's with all the mail? Because usually I get mail, and my husband and I get mail here, and Hands On Needle Shop, my old shop, still occasionally gets mail. I get mail for hands-on finishing. I get mail for my old design company, Cherrywood. And then now this, he's kind of like, what do you do? So I told him I'm famous. No. Anyway, so look for that blog post and email on Tuesday on our anniversary. So again, it's a sweet little stitch. You're gonna find when you see that, and it's gonna be kind of obvious, that this year my husband and I have kind of had a big project going on. We are building a new home. It is something I have always wanted to do. They say little girls dream about their perfect wedding and this and that. I didn't. I had a lovely wedding. My mother planned it. It was wonderful. I always wanted to build a house, and or I like to call it's my home, because it's my home, and he is my home. And so I am influenced in my design work and even my surroundings by color and words and certain styles, and that evokes a lot of times influences what my designs are at the moment. And I really think you're gonna see that this year in my my series. You're gonna see a lot of home, and there'll be a lot of connections to what's going on. On that home front, we are getting close. They broke ground in early August 7th, and I think we're getting close. We're getting really close. We've made a lot of decisions. We've got a lot more to go. I'm not building a mansion. I'm not building. I tell people I'm not like breaking architectural boundaries here. I'm getting what my husband and I want. So I'm really looking forward to it. A few people I've done a few posts online about different things. Go back and check out my fun laundry room floor. Yes, I will get a new studio. I actually get windows in my studio. I'm so excited about that. Anyway, so let's move on to probably what you're really waiting for is Chalk on the Farm. I put some sneak peeks out there yesterday on social media. Follow me on Facebook, Hands On Design. There's a Hands On Design Stitchers group. A lovely gal stitcher hosts it for me. And then also on on Instagram, hands.on.design. Excuse me. I am on Facebook as well as a person. A lot of people, I get friend requests, because they think they want to see things first. If you want to see hands-on design things first, go to the hands-on design page, because that's where I put it. I used to do a little crossover. I don't nearly as much. So you're probably going to get the boring pictures of me and my kids if you, otherwise. So let's talk about Chalk on the Farm. The shops now have all the information they need for ordering. It starts shipping next Wednesday. Monday, they'll hopefully email me their initial orders numbers. Tuesday, on our 30th anniversary, we will be invoicing and packing orders, and I'll take them to the post office Wednesday morning. So you can get Chalk on the Farm in your hot little hands. This has been there'll be 4 designs in all. I call them seasonal-ish. They kind of evoke the season, but they don't say spring, summer, fall, winter. The colors will change, and of course, obviously, the scene will change as Priscilla draws it. This is if you don't know what it is, the collaboration of myself and chalk artist Priscilla Blaine. You might just know her as one of the Real Housewives of cross-stitching with Priscilla and Chelsea. And she will be showing hers tomorrow as well, her finished piece. And Priscilla draws it, sends an image to me, and then I render it into cross stitch. Not as easy as it sounds, but lots of fun. And we both have kind of grown through the experience, how to do it, how to make it look better, how to have a little fun with it, I've gotten better about injecting a little bit of me into it. And I think it's made over the couple years we've been doing this, I think it's made the designs even better. And Priscilla I don't know what she's drawing. We talk, we'll talk concept and things like that, but when I get that email from her with the attachment, ooh, I'm excited. So, you might have seen a full look of it. So here is the large version of Fresh Eggs Farm. Now, like the previous ones, there'll be a larger piece. Now, with the chalk for the home, they were that way. These will all be horizontal. Just a little bit of change. And of course, there'll be a small one to go with it. That'll have the words in it in the name of the particular farm. So we did some real, I call these like pale spring colors, very soothing, very just so pretty. I will be putting an email out if you're on my email list with the colors and everything. But shops, if you're ordering it from a shop, they have all of that information. And if they didn't, they're not on my list, tell them to contact me and I'll put them on my list. I want to talk for a minute about the finishing. I wanted to do something different than I did the last series. The last series, I had one frame and I popped each design in and out of it. So I'm gonna do the same thing, but this is actually, excuse me, a ready-made frame. I got, I really liked well, you could kind of see how the edge was sort of all scuffed up, vintagey, washed looking. And it had, it had glass and this little, I don't know, spacer in it, and I took that out. It's an 11 by 14 frame. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Used my coupon because I'm always there the week that frames are not half off. So I used my 40% off, and it was like 40 bucks, and then you get 40% off. Still very cheap for a frame. But I just loved I loved the white. It is hard to find a good white frame. So I really liked this. I'm gonna use this again. So popped the glass out. I cut a piece of foam core to fit 11 by 14, and I found this fabric. I'll be honest with you, in my head, I had a red fabric in mind, and I just couldn't find one that I liked. And then I happened to pass by the table that had this, and I thought, oh, that could be kind of different. So I just really think, okay, first of all, I'm a polka dot gal. I love polka dots. And the soft color just really, it gave it, and the small dots, it gave it texture without, being in your face. And I just really liked it. So I covered a piece of foam core with the fabric. There is a layer of, just a thin layer of batting underneath it as well. I mean, you can see, that's what it did. Then the design itself, so this is 11 by 14, ready-made. It's not a custom size. I finished this onto a piece of mat board cut, and I like to put 2 layers of the thin Warm and Natural batting under there, and then I laced it. I don't use sticky board. I just never had good luck with it. I cut my own mats to size. It's pretty simple to do, and then I attach the batting with double-side acid-free tape, stitchery tape that you can get through a lot of your stores. They can order it through Yarn Tree. It's a lifesaver in the finishing world. I did kind of put real thin, so I knew I wanted something around the edge to just sort of finish it, and I auditioned a couple things, and I ended up, I get very impatient with my spools, so I end up ripping one side off, but it makes it hard later when I want to reorder it. But it's just a real thin little, it's probably maybe a 1/16 of an inch, just a little kind of burlappy, I just wanted texture. And that is literally pinned into the side of the foam core. I mean, there's a pin at each corner and then halfway point. You cannot tell, but it just kind of finishes it nicely. Okay, and then I had the bow. I loved that it had like that barn red and the natural color. And I knew, even though this was green and the bow would be red, I wasn't afraid that it would, you know, scream Christmas, because they're soft colors, and I just felt like it would go. Now here's the fun thing. I've been wanting to do this forever. See the little clips? These are from, is it Tim Holtz? Yeah, Tim Holtz, Ideal, yeah, Tim Holtz. They're the little clips. You can get a whole thing of them for $3.99, and again, I think they were 50% off, so bargain, $2. And I literally opened them up, put them on the top. Again, just another layer of texture. I put them up there clipped them onto the thing, and there's a hole in the back. And I attached it through the foam core with a straight pin, with a ball head straight pin. So yeah, right now, for purposes of this video, you can see my straight pins in the back, and I've actually caught myself a few times. But now that I've shown it to you, I will cover those up. And I'm just gonna leave it like that, because probably for the next one, who knows what the colorway is gonna be. I'll use the same frame and just get new fabric. I mean, all you needed was like a fat quarter, and that was just a couple bucks. So an economical, but very, I don't know, it just kind of makes me smile. It just, I'll be proud to hang this in my home. Of course, my models do have to go out and earn their living and go in trunk shows and things like that. So anyway, so that is my finish. I've seen how Priscilla has finished her. She sent me a picture, and it's lovely, and you'll see it on her video this weekend as well. So it's pretty neat. I like how we both kind of have our own take on these things. Lots of fun. So, okay, so the small one. Where to go? Oh, here. Sorry. Fresh Eggs Farm. There you go. This is a very quick stitch. I will say, just a word, if you bought a frame for the previous seasons, this is the same size. It would fit in that frame. And I did that on purpose, just to save you on framing. This, I really wanted to do this finish. I've had fun playing with this kind of a finish now for a while. I cut the mat the way I wanted to. I start by cutting a rectangle, and then I sketch on there the arch. I freehand a lot of that. And there are tips and tricks, like if you do one side, I'll trim that, and then I'll flip it over and I'll trace, just so I get the same arch on both sides. And then it's got layered, 2 layers of thin, warm and natural batting, and then I laced it. And then again, I did the same little ribbon trim, because I wanted to give it a nice finished edge. And then this is a piece of black foam core. So I cut it, I actually did this first and then backed my way into the measurement for the foam core piece. So I kind of figured out, I wanted about 3/4 of an inch showing here, and then a little more on top because I'd have the bow and everything. Cut the foam core, and I got a piece of scrapbook paper, and I went to my local craft store, and I bought a variety of them because I thought, well, okay, they were like 50 cents, half off. I splurged a little, a quarter. So I got a variety of colors. And oh, there's the one. And this one, this was the red that I had in mind. And it kind of looks like burlap. But there were a couple others. And I bought them because I thought, well, I don't know what the next one will look like. I like that blue. I almost went with the blue. And even kind of that fun stripe. These just soft colors are, very popular right now. And you can find this stuff so easily. Excuse me. So once I had my... and I wanted black, you could do white, but I just wanted the dark edges. I didn't want the white to stand out. And it's easy to find black foam core. It's always good to have on hand. So then I put spray glue on the mat board and put it down on the paper. And then trimmed the paper off once it was dry. And I had really just kind of a custom little board there. And I did the same thing with the little, I actually put the clip on here, and then there's a pin back in here behind it, a straight pin that goes straight through to the foam core. Now with this one, I was a little more careful, so no pin coming through. And then I used the same bow, and I attached that with pins. And then I felt like it needed something else to dress it up, so I have a lot of pins from just another button company sitting around my house, so I just really liked them. A chicken would have been nice, or an egg, but the color, I felt like the colors all worked. That green's in there, the white, the blue, the red. So much so that I just thought it gave it some fun texture. And Justin of the Button Company will have a new product. I'm actually working with it for my Nashville things. They're called pin minis. Usually up till now, their pin sets have been 5 pins, but they're doing pin minis that have 3 pins. So I sent them a picture this morning and said, I just want you to know I did this. Obviously it's not a set. And they responded and said, looks like we need a chicken. Well, that would be nice. So we're kind of in negotiations now to maybe get some new pin minis to go to coordinate with the farm set. If you didn't use them here, and that's literally just stuck down into the center of the bow. And you can do so many things with this, display it different ways. You can just rest it in a shelf as we call them leaners, lean against the back of the shelf. In the scrapbook section, you can buy little easel backs that you like tape onto the back and create a little easel. Myself, I lean things all the time. I change out my shelves. That's part of the way I decorate. So it'll just kind of lean on something and be sweet. So this, I did not, unfortunately, I like to stitch these models, but I did not get to stitch this one just because of the timing. It's so much going on right now. And so a good friend stitched this and she did a marvelous job. But I did stitch this one. I went to a retreat last weekend, which sounds like, well, gosh, if you're so busy, what are you doing at a retreat? Well, it was 2 days of non-stop stitching. No cooking, no cleaning, no phones, no whatever. So it was perfect. I need that all the time. So I actually stitched this one while I was there in about a day and a half. So I am like the world's slowest stitcher. So if I can do it in a day and a half, you got this down. I do know Priscilla did something where she kind of put them together. I think kind of like she did with her last one. So there's so many possibilities with this. But as I said, there'll be 4 in all. I call them seasonal-ish. They won't say the season, but you'll see it, you'll know it in the colors and kind of what's around. And these chickens are just too funny. I love the ones in the back of the truck. And this is kind of neat. If you wanted to, as I was looking at it, I thought, gosh, you know, you could just stitch the truck. Or, I'll move that so you can see the little weather vane on top of the barn. I love that barn. Now, I will let you in on a little secret. See the board and batten siding in the top? We're putting board and batten siding on our house. So there was a little influence there as I added that touch to the barn that she sent. But just a sweet little barn. And you could just stitch the barn, and it's a nice size that you could put it on like a little ornament or a little easel or something. So you could pull out components too. Make great gifts. Anyway, so this one starts shipping out to shops next Wednesday on the 7th. So if you ordered it from a shop, I'm not going to shout out any specific recommendations because I work with a lot of shops. If you ever want to know you know, a recommendation, I'm happy to talk with you. I usually try and find out where you live, what's closest to you. There's a lot of brick and mortar shops that will mail order and online shops that will mail order. Well, obviously they mail order, but a lot of them will set up clubs too, because there'll be 4 in the series, 2 designs in each. So you don't have to say, well, I want that one, but I don't want that one. Well, first of all, why wouldn't you want both of them? But they both come in the same chart. I think that's a bargain. Anyway, so that's it. Now you know kind of why I've been quiet on the Floss Tube front, and even some of the stitching front as well, because it's so much. I've got a lot to show you, and there'll be a couple more videos coming up soon. I have a new series, ornament series this year. There'll be 9 ornaments in all. Ugh, I just love the colors. So that'll be my next video, I believe, next week. But in the meantime, check out Priscilla's video tomorrow. She did mention to me that they are going to be doing a stitch along. I don't really know like if there's going to be a specific group or it's just a hashtag or whatever. So tune into them to find out all that information. And again, I will be doing an email with all the lists. It uses mostly General Art sampler threads. I can't believe I've made it through without coughing that much. Also uses 2 Classic Colorworks. I love the color, and that this was the perfect color for the truck. It's Classic Colorworks. It's called Barn Door, appropriately enough. Anyway, so I just kind of makes me smile. And it's so fun. I can't believe how many people are going gaga over the chickens. Yesterday when I posted it, I had no idea there were that many chicken emojis. And I was saying I was at a stitch-in, well, when I was at my stitch-in last weekend, I was laughing because I said, yeah, I never thought I'd be designing a chicken. And then somebody pointed out, what about all those birds in the 12-day series? I was like, oh, you're right. That was a lot of birds. No harm, no foul. Get it? Anyways, sorry, bad puns. Anyway, I think we're gonna cut it here, and this has been a lot of fun. Hopefully I am not coming off too goofy or loopy on the Sudafed. And you all have a great weekend. Until I see you later, enjoy the stitch. Bye-bye.